What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the lab with another quest build. I have an extremely rare blueprint that rivals my Freak of Nature Athletic Finisher build. This freak is in that same tree, but I guarantee you haven't seen a variant quite like this. I've only seen other variations at about 6'7", 6'8". Wanted to see if I can cook this up at 6'9". I could, so then I wanted to take it one step further, and I cooked it up at 6'10". This thing is an absolute technician that is going to be a problem inside the arc, but it has some crazy catfish abilities under the hood as well. This thing has shades of Al Harrington, Antoine Jameson, Derrick Coleman, Elton Brand, Yi Jianliang, and Carmelo Anthony. This is the 6'10" big dog version of the Finesse Finisher. It is anything but finesse in my opinion. It can absolutely do damage in the right hands. The offensive ability in this build is going to go crazy, and defensively it's pretty well rounded as well. You're not going to find another variation like this at 6'10". It's honestly not even a finesse type build. It has the gas, it is going to punish your opponents, and this version is going to be big and bulky, and nobody's going to be able to walk all over you on this build when they see this name. So jumping right in, we're going to make this a small forward because we want that 6'10" version. You're going to be 243 pounds with a 7'6" wingspan, and you know we're going body shape built because we want to look menacing on the wood and on the cleat. When you do bring this out against your opponents, you see Finesse Finisher, but you see this yoked up monster in front of you. What are you going to do? What do you think is going to happen? So follow along to a T to get this name, and then tinker at your own discretion in your builder. At the end of the day, it's your build. You can do whatever you want. You might not agree with some of these specs, but I'm just providing you guys a blueprint to cook this up and get this name. You can also make different variations with a little bit different athletic profile that kind of models its game more after like Tayshaun Prince, Jalen Rose, Grant Hill. But this 6'10" girthier version is going to be even more rare than that blueprint. So that's what I'm going to be bringing y'all in this video here. We're going to get our close shot to a 76. We're going to get our driving layup to a 95, almost maxed out. It's going to be a badge thresh. I believe you need at least a 93 driving layup to get this name. You can tinker, try it out. But we're going to get our driving dunk to an 84. That's going to give us those pro contact dunks. And then we're going to get our standing dunk because we're 6'10" to an 80. That's going to give us those pro big man contact dunks. And that's going to separate this build from all the other variations that you might see. But then let's take that another step forward. We're going to have an 82 post control. That's going to give us an arsenal of moves that we can operate outside the midi post or on the block. And at 6'10", if you are the 2, 3, even the 4, you're probably going to be a lot bigger than the majority of your opponents. And you're going to absolutely dominate with this kind of finishing ability. That's going to give us 26 finishing badges, crazy driving layup, contact dunks, off rip on God Swear left side curtains, a post game, and then decent close shot to be able to finish around the cup. But then shooting, this is where the build kind of gets a little bananas. We're going to get our mid-range to a 73, but you can get your jumper all the way to an 84, which is what we're going to max out our 3-ball at. And then we're going to add that little extra spec to free throw to get to a 60. That's going to give us 19 shooting badges. On the other variations that I was playing with, I didn't know if you could get your midi and 3-ball over an 80. But on some of these super rare builds, you can actually go above that threshold. So 84 3-ball on a Finesse Finisher, people are going to think you're just going to drive and do layups all day. This isn't a George Gervin build that's just going to attack the paint in a soft circus jelly fam layup package. This thing's an absolute sniper from beyond the arc. And depending on what you want on your build, you can up your mid-range if you want to prioritize shooting. But that's going to give us 19 shooting badges with tier 3 gold catch and shoot, which is going to be crazy on this build. And then playmaking, we're going to get our pass accuracy to an 85. And then we're going to get our ball handle to an 80 just for those animations. The badge stress is at a 79. And then we're going to get our speed with ball maxed out to a 67. If you've seen my builds on the channel before, the playmaker or creator type name at 6'10" needs an 81 ball handle, 71 speed with ball to unlock certain rare names. But to get this Finesse Finisher, you don't actually really have much playmaking threshes. If you go to an 86 pass accuracy, it'll change the name to like a diming 3-level scorer or diming inside out. But on the ball handle and speed with ball, that's not going to be a priority to get this name. And so you can maximize that on your build if you want to prioritize playmaking and being more of an ISO scorer. But just to get this name, don't worry about hitting certain threshes in the playmaking category. And then defensively, we're going to get our interior D to a 58, our perimeter defense to a 74. It's going to give us nice lateral quickness on the perimeter, guarding guards and wing type players. We're going to keep our stealies at a 39. We're going to get our block at a 78. It's going to give us those gold chase downs. We're going to get our defense rebound to an 80. And then our offense rebound to a 73. That's going to give us 19 defensive badges. It's not a defensive juggernaut type build, but this is 100% serviceable in the right hands. If you know how to play defense, if you're good at basketball and good behind the sticks, you're going to be able to do just fine on mid 70s type attributes. And you definitely can allocate more to make this a defensive minded finesse finisher, which is the great thing about this super rare build, is that there's a ton of different variations depending on your play style, that you can make this a 99 defensive rebounding finesse finisher, make it more of a Sean Marion type build, or you can be more well-rounded and offensively inclined like Carmelo Anthony. And then physicals, we're going to get our speed to a 71, max out our acceleration to a 70, keep our strength to a 45, but we're going to get our vertical to a 75 because we want those contact dunks. And then the rest on stamina, we're going to put that in 86. So giving this build a once over, 26 finishing, 19 shooting, 20 playmaking, and 19 defensive badges. It is definitely an inside the arc monster, but with that 84 3-ball on this blueprint, that's going to be kind of unfair under the hood on this build. And then as a playmaker, very high pass accuracy, going to be able to handle the pill. And defensively at 6'10", don't worry so much about the attributes because you're going to be an absolute monster on whoever you guard. And when bigs match up against this, 58 interior D, they don't know that. Also, just play good homegrown fundamental defense, and you're going to be a girthy, intimidating force on that side of the ball. You can ink out some more shooting badges and some more defensive badges depending on what your play style is, but I wanted to show you guys some of the name potential on this build, like that 84 3-ball, like that 85 pass accuracy. And then having a post game on this build, again, is going to be like that Derrick Coleman, that Elton Brand, that Tim Thomas type monster. And I think that's going to separate this blueprint from others you might see. Going on a takeover, you get slashing take, shooting take, playmaking, and post scoring. You know, you're already going to have some post moves, so you can go like advanced gathers and then limitless range, and then make this a true like floor spacing slasher. And you're going to end up with one of the rarest names in all of 2K23. I haven't personally even seen this at the city, the Finesse Finisher. Ew! Like I said, I've only seen a variation of this name at 6'8" celery stick peanut type build. This is not that. This is not even a finesse finisher. I don't know how you can get this name with these specs. Very similar to my prospect build. This thing's a straight up floor spacing slasher with the girth of Sean Kemp. You shouldn't be able to get an 84 3-ball on this build. And when you attack the rim, you are actually going to be catching bodies and finessing the system to get away with murder. So that's how I like to look at this finesse finisher build. What do you guys think of this variation? Would you prioritize shooting to make this even more catfishy? Would you try to max out the defensive potential of this build? Because you know the finishing and playmaking are going to go crazy. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, because you know what time it is. Quest Sparrow is going to keep bringing those rare type commodities to the community.